Olivia Bono-Voznenko for Modern Wall Street. And guess who's back to do our Thursday thing? It is Stephen Guilfoyle. Sarge, welcome back.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Where's your tan?
I lost my tan. I was in Florida for a couple days. I thought I had a tan, but I am an Irish Catholic, and we don't keep those things very long.
Well, it's nice to have you back in New York, but not for long. We're going to head to England since things are a little shaky over there now that Parliament has to vote on Brexit. Are we even going to have a Brexit?
Yeah, I mean, do we really know? I'm somewhat disappointed in the British High Court. It's not my place. I'm not a British guy, obviously. But if I was someone who had voted on the Brexit and the people's will has been expressed, then who is the High Court to change the game after it's been played? I think that Theresa May became Prime Minister based on the idea of a Brexit, that she was going to move forward and trigger Article 50. Now that it has to get through Parliament, I mean, there's going to be all sorts of haggling. And they haven't defined just what kind of approval they need from Parliament. It's a full parliamentary vote. What is it? We don't even know. So the pound was strengthened on this news today. The pound was also buoyed by the fact that Mark Carney's hands are somewhat tied. He's been criticized for being too aggressive in the wake of that Brexit vote. And the economy just didn't fall apart right after the vote, at least not immediately. So he has been somewhat handcuffed as far as moving forward. And he's kind of a hawkish guy himself. As if you remember from his Bank of Canada days, he prefers a hawkish style of monetary policy. So we have a stronger pound and thus a somewhat weaker U.S. dollar, which we've seen for a couple days now.
Well, on the topic of Brexit, we can see some Brexit-like market conditions next week. What are we going to see and how do we position?
Well, clearly Donald Trump is back in the game. I heard talk today of a Republican sweep just a week after hearing talk of a Democratic sweep. That may be a little far-fetched. But yeah, the game is back on. And how do we position ourselves for this when no one really knows what to expect? I mean, it was on Twitter today, there were rumors of a WikiLeaks release after the bell. That caused a little bit of a sell-off today. We got support at the 2085 level on the S&P 500, which is where you would think it would come in. The next stop is 2078 for those who want to know. But that 2085 was the stop for today. So the market is definitely watching this, and the market's pricing in uncertainty as much as anything else. Donald Trump is perceived as somewhat of an immediate negative. But then again, if Hillary Clinton's hands are tied because of legal woes, if she is elected, then she might be as much a negative as he is. I mean, it's a difficult thing to price, and the market's going through that right now. You saw the VIX today. The VIX exploded today. For days now, we've been wondering why the VIX isn't popping even though the market's coming in. Well, today we got the pop.
Yes, we did get that today, and tomorrow we get the biggie, non-farm payrolls. The Fed did not act yesterday. They're giving us these cryptic messages into December. If they don't act then, will it be too late, Stephen?
Well, it's been too late since about 2013. That's when they were supposed to raise rates, but they didn't act because they are cowardly. And they were cowardly yesterday in a statement. They were rather vague. I think they should have been more definitive in their intent. But you had them back off a little bit. They really didn't signal anything other than they're on track. Eric Rosengren pulled back his dissent, which is somewhat political in nature because I guess he did it in front of the presidential election. If you truly believe you should raise rates, then you believe you should raise rates. And Mester and George both understand that, and they held on to their dissents. And the other players in the game did not dissent. So he's the only one that was wiggled by this election. All in all, yeah, the Fed is on track. The numbers are on track. You saw the ISM data. It was decent on both sides. New orders were strong. The GDP, it was reliant upon agricultural exports, but the headline number was stronger. If they need to raise rates, and if they're told to raise rates, I guess, they can go ahead and do it in December.
Well, Stephen, next time we speak, there's going to be something going on. Can't wait to cover it then, and until that time.
I can't wait either.